Okay, as Richard was here first, I'm going to start with Richard Birches. Welcome, Richard. Do you want to give us a little overview of your new role in, well, not so new now, you've been in there for a little while, and what you're up to at the moment?
Thank you, Mark. First of all, never start with an apology, so I'll start with an apology. If you've heard me talk about the radio on these things in previous years, I don't do the radio anymore. I work for Bath and North East Somerset Council, and I'm on business engagement, business growth. It doesn't just apply to businesses. There's business support out there for third sector organisations as well. Hence why I wanted to be here today. So I also am paid for by the West of England Combined Authority. So any grant funding that's supplied by them or by Bath and North East Somerset Council, my role is to help signpost you to where that is available. So the one I did want to mention today was, if any of you are or indeed know of any creative freelancers, there's now support available out there up to £2,000 if you need something in that area. But in general, just to finish off, if I may, Mark, I'll put my email address in the chat already. If you're looking for business support, if you need some community support, it may not be available there and then, but there are newsletters you can sign up for, and sooner or later, it generally speaking does become available. So get in touch with me, let me know where I can help. Thank you very much, Mark. You're on mute, Mark.
Thanks, Richard. Yeah, always good to see you, and thanks for giving us your update. I'll move on now to Liz Freeman. Hello, Liz.
Hi, I'm Liz from We Care Home Improvements, and I'm a caseworker for all the stuff we offer in B&NES. So I thought here would be a good opportunity to let you know what we offer to our clients. I mean, do you want me to do that now or later?
Yeah, that'd be lovely, Liz, if you could. Yeah, it would be interesting to know the types of support people can get, and it'd be really good to know what sort of if there are any costs associated to it, or whether it's or people can get any help with those services at all. That'd be really good to hear from you.
Okay, well, we mainly we have several different projects going on. The one that might be well, I'll go through them. The first one is for homeowners or private tenants who are on low income, usually a mean tested benefit, and have who are on low income, and if they need any urgent repair grants, urgent repairs in their property, like a leaky toilet or what can I say, stuff like that. Or the electrics, there's some problem with the electrics, it's around £1,500, then they simply need to get in touch with us and we can see what we can do. We also have access to another grant, which is for anyone on an income who is a homeowner or a private tenant on an income of less than 30,000, and they and that need some energy improvements. So the energy of the property needs to be below C, and if it is, we can offer a grant of up to around £3,500. Again, come to us. The sort of thing that we put in are new windows, new doors, or repairs, and a lot of loft insulation as well. But really anything that is appropriate for energy improvements, get in touch with us on that one as well. The third one is if you're stuck in hospital and you need to get home, we also offer a grant to homeowners only, limited one via Curo. They always have to be referred really through a medical person, but the idea being that they get home as quickly as they can. And that grant's around, depending on whether they're a homeowner or not, it's around £1,000. And if you're so we also deal with private tenants or private owner, owner occupiers. So if they've got roof problems, very common one, roof repairs, we have a list of trusted contractors that we use, and we can often get the work done on their behalf. There is a small fee, and they can be of any income on that one, obviously, because they would be paying that themselves, but it gives them the assurance that, you know, we're looking over the property, we're checking the contractors, overseeing the work and making sure it's done properly. So it gives peace of mind. So common issue is someone who is perhaps a little, could be elderly, vulnerable, and might need some issues around the roof works. If it fits into the some of the other grants I've talked about, we will do our best to include those as well. But we basically will work with anyone who needs bigger works done. And what else is that? I can't remember. You've got me a bit on the hoof, actually.
No, that's all right, Liz. I was just going to ask you a
there
question,
was
if that's
one
okay.
more that went in my mind, and I can't remember it. Oh, we also deal with if people can't afford to access, if they don't have enough cash, but the property that and they need some urgent repairs, which are more than the 1,000 or 1,500, we also will help them access a loan scheme which the council run as well. It's quite high interest, so it's always worth them to have a look first. Oh yeah, and the most important thing of all is we work with the council to put in stuff for the Disability Facilities Grant. To be honest, that would come via the OT anyway, or the council, but that's quite a big part of what we do as well. We put in level access showers and adapted bathrooms, and again, we can do that privately if they don't qualify under the grant scheme. I think that's it. I don't know if you got all that, but that's
I did indeed. You came across loud and clear, Liz. Just a couple of questions. I can see Dave's got his hand up, but because I'm in the chair, I'll go first. I was just going to ask, how do people refer into you if they have sort of a need? Do they have to come through an agency, or can they do it themselves?
They can do it themselves. They simply need, the best way is really ringing us, 0300 323 0700, and or they can look us up on the website and send a message in that way through the Teams. There's an email address on there, and then we pick it up from there. Really, there's not too much of a waiting list. So if you know anyone, let us know.
Thank you, Liz. I think Dave Dixon's got a question. Hi, Dave.
Yeah, Liz, just a quick question. I'm doing some work with Alison and John Todd from Mercy in Action. They run 3 what they call Petra houses in Bath, which are houses in the city for single mothers and their children. Do you do any? And they're looking to do some home improvement, insulation, energy saving stuff. Do you do work with charities?
Well, it would be through the individual. But there is one other thing I forgot to mention. We do offer a handy person service as well. So if there are small repairs, we do have access to various grants, charitable grants on site, and and if they fit that low income and or vulnerable, they should be able to access some help for us to do small repairs.
Yeah, the interesting, I suppose, the thing about that is that the tenants in the houses would definitely qualify, but the houses are owned by the charity, so that's probably a little bit more complicated, isn't it?
Well, if for example it was Curo, it would be, and it was a Curo property, we would be saying, unless it was the tenant's responsibility, we would be saying Curo needs to do the work in any, and we would do the same with any private landlord or housing association.
Okay.
I agree, David. It is a bit of an issue there that I think we notice it with a few charities that if they're trying to get retrofit work done as well, they kind of fall through the gap because they're not a business and they're not an individual, and they often struggle to get the work done or find people that can do it for them.
Thanks, Angela. Any more questions at all? For Liz? Nope, I can't see no more hands at the moment. Okay, I'll move on to the next person on my screen, Joanne Howard. Hello, Joanne. Was Joanna, sorry.
Hi, yeah, it's Johanna actually, but it's a bit of an odd name. So can you guys hear me all right?
I can, yeah.
Perfect. So I'm Johanna. I'm clinical lead at Trauma Breakthrough, which is a charity that operates in Twerton, but we cover Bath, North East Somerset, Wilts, and Bristol. We provide psychotherapy and wellbeing support for adult survivors of trauma and abuse, free at point of contact. I'm only hopping in until 1 o'clock today, so sorry, I will make a speedy exit at some point, but I just wanted to hop in and sort of see what it was about. When it comes to referrals, we don't accept self-referrals, we only take referrals from professionals, but that could be support workers, mental health kind of workers, volunteers, nurses, GPs. We're pretty flexible at what kind of that professional is. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, please feel free to kind of fire away.
That's fine. Thank you, Joanna. Or Johanna, even. I'll get it right in a minute. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. I've got Anne Donaghy, or is it Donaghy? I'm terrible with names today.
It's
Hello,
Donaghy. I always
Donaghy.
say it's Anne with an E, Donaghy.
There we go. Excellent. Thanks,
But I
Anne.
get all sorts of variants. So, hi. So I am a member of staff at the Carers Centre in Bath. Hopefully, a few of you will have come across us. We are basically providing support to people who are in a caring role for somebody like a friend or family member. So rather than us being a care agency with paid carers, we're very much about people that are supporting their friends and family at home or maybe in a care home, but still kind of engaging with them and supporting them. And our focus is really on the carers themselves. So although we will definitely give advice about how to get support for the person that they're caring for, because obviously that impacts on the carer, we're very much about making sure that the carer themselves feels supported. My team, we're part of the support team, so we have a free phone support line that carers can call, and so can professionals. If professionals have questions that are relating to a carer or a caring role, we get all sorts of things coming our way, from kind of quick questions, signposting, to people really needing that space to talk, and because I think it can be quite overwhelming when you're caring for somebody sometimes, and actually a lot of people say it's really nice to be able to talk to someone who's separate from that situation. They can just kind of let it all out to us and then go back and carry on with what they're doing, feeling a little bit lighter. So I always say to people, you know, they don't have to have a reason to call us, they can just call if they just feel that they need to talk. In terms of what else our team do, we, if people are in financial difficulty, we can help them access grants that are out there for carers. We can send them out a pack for emergency planning. So that's around if something happens to the carer themselves. And the idea is that there's a way for it to be clear that that person is a carer and somebody is that they're responsible for somebody. So we've had carers who've been taken off to hospital unconscious in an ambulance, and they want to make sure that somebody knows that there's actually somebody at home that might be dependent on them. So we have a pack we can send out to carers to kind of help with that. We do a whole range of things in our team. The wider organisation, we have a carers voice team. So that's really about making sure that the views of carers are kind of integral to any decisions or policies or developments, both in our organisation, but also locally and sometimes nationally as well. And we also have a really amazing activity provision. So it's all free, and it honestly, it really is good. So if any of you are carers and you live in B&NES, I would encourage you to have a look at our website and see what we offer, and maybe sign up, because there are all sorts. There's one of the most popular is the refreshing days, which are basically going off to the Amadown Retreat Centre for the day and doing nice activities, having lunch. We do trips out, we do craft sessions, all sorts of kind of well-being things like yoga courses, some random things like we've got a mock trial session coming up, which a carer was really excited about, all sorts. And then we have what are called the carer cafes. So they're a bit more like sitting, having a cup of tea, having a chat, meeting other people who are also in a caring role. Some of those are specific to certain groups of carers, like carers for someone with dementia, or carers with someone with mental health difficulties. But there's a whole load of kind of general cafes in Bath, Midsummer Norton, Keynsham, and we're kind of expanding to different venues as we can, really, to try and, you know, make sure more people can access it. So like I say, it's all free. If you know of anybody that could benefit, you can refer them yourselves if you go onto our website. So if you just search for Bath Carers Centre, you'll find us. And on our website, we've got a section for professionals where you can actually complete a referral form for somebody and refer them to us. If you do that, and if you would like us to actually make contact with them to talk some things through, please put a note on your referral to say that, because we don't automatically call everybody that registers. We send them out a welcome pack and all the information they need to access our services, but we don't call every single carer that registers. So if you want us to make that contact, if there's something you think they need to talk over with us, just put a note on the referral, and then we'll make sure we actually contact them directly to talk it through, as well as obviously send them all the you know, registration information. They can also refer themselves. So again, on the website, there's a page they can fill in a form, or if they prefer, they can just give us a call on the support line, and we can do the registration with them on the phone. I'll give you the support line number because it's quite handy. It's 0800 0388 885, and that is open 9 to 1 on weekday mornings. And there's like 4 of us that cover that. So, you know, usually people can get through first time. If not, we tend to try and call them back if we see a missed call while we're on another one. So, yeah, I think that's probably everything, but if anyone has any questions, then please let me know.
Thanks, Van. Yeah, I know certainly Dave and I are looking forward to coming to see the centre. We haven't been down for a while, and we've got a meeting booked in June to come and meet up down there. So it'll be good to see some of those activities. I think you've got a pen and ink session. Is that correct? Have I said that right?
Let me have a look, because I've got there's so many. I have to check out what we've got. We've got something called feather painting.
That might be it. Yeah.
Could that be it? Pen and ink session. No, I think it. Oh yes, no, you're right. Pen and ink painting, but I think that was a course that started in April. So you know, you might be a little bit too late to get onto that by now. But yeah,
I think we're going to observe. I don't think we'll probably take part, but yeah, it'll be great to see all the work that's going on there, because I think because you're based in the Lower Bristol Road in Bath, aren't you?
We are, yeah. So we've got a really nice building and a lovely garden where we actually have a gardening group as well at some time in the year. That's really nice. Yeah.
Lovely. And are there any activities anywhere else in Bath, or is everything at the one base?
No, we do have things in different places. So some of the activities might be like we have walks that are in different places. We have things like theatre trips where you'd meet at the theatre. We also have some other cafes. So we've got a cafe at the Glass House up in Coombe Down. We've got another cafe in Lark Hall. What else have we got? Several of our activities are in different places because they're kind of based around whatever like there's a trip to near the Abbey, and so they meet at the Abbey. So you know, there's stuff all over basically. What I would also say is, obviously we do encourage carers, if they can, to get to the activities themselves. We've got parking on site and things like that. If somebody is genuinely not able to get there, and that's the reason that they're not accessing it, then we would encourage them to let us know, because we can help with things like we use Swan Transport and things like that to help carers actually get to us if they really genuinely can't, you know, travel to us, because we don't want that to be a reason for someone not to come to an activity, basically.
That's great. Thank you, Anne. Anyone else got any more questions? I can't see any hands at the moment. Okay. Ruth. Hello, Ruth. Hi.
Hello. Yes, I'm just coming to learn a bit more about what's going on in the area. I'm one of the local councillors in Weston. But my question to Anne was, could you tell us a bit more about activities aimed specifically at young carers?
Do you know, as you were saying that, I was thinking, oh, I forgot to tell them about young carers. Yeah, partly because I don't tend to have so much to do with that myself, although I did talk to someone this morning about a young carer thing. So yeah, we have a young carer team as well, supporting young people that are in a caring role within their, usually it's within their family, but not always. We have a variety of things that we offer. So we have we've had a project which I think is coming towards an end now, where we've actually gone out into schools and done kind of group work in schools. We can do like young carer assessments, where we meet with the carer and look at different aspects of their caring role, what's working, what's not working, and kind of come up with some ideas about what might support them. And we also do quite a lot of activity sessions that young carers can come to. So there's a whole variety of different things that they do. Some of them are kind of more like fun sessions, social sessions, but we also do some, again, a bit like the carer voice stuff for the adults, we do some young carer voice stuff. And we had a group of young carers that came together to create a song, and they went to London and performed that song to MPs and things like that, to actually try and get across the experience of being a young carer, I guess. So they do all sorts. So it's a really nice little group, I think, that do the different activities and the young carer's voice and stuff like that. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Yeah, cool. Anyone else?
I take it if anyone wants to find out more, there you've got your website as well, haven't you? That people can look at.
Yeah.
Yep. It needs to be lovely. Fabulous. Thank you very much. Moving on then, I'll come to Jenny Crosley next. Hi, Jenny.
Hello. Sorry, I've just had to unmute myself. Hi. Yes, so I'm Jenny. I work with a fuel poverty charity called National Energy Action that's based up in Newcastle, but we've got staff all over the country. So I'm in the southwest, obviously, and what we do is provide phone support, energy advice, fuel vouchers. We often have other pots of money to do things like buying energy efficient items for people, possibly looking at, you know, helping with fuel debt, all that sort of stuff. So basically it's an awful lot of support and advice around how to be more energy efficient, getting on the priority service register, how to be more water efficient, accessing social tariffs for water, resolving any and all problems you might be having with your energy company. Another section of our organisation does also help with work around what we call measures, so trying to get retrofit items in, and looking at making the fabric of the property more energy efficient. We do, where possible, try and collaborate with local agencies, so like Citizens Advice Centre for Sustainable Energy around here for things like the energy debt, and you know, perhaps doing home visits that we're not able to support clients with. We do have also have an in-house benefits team who can check that someone is claiming all the benefits they're entitled to, just so that, you know, just to maximise out the income. And the other part of our role is we go out and we do talks to community groups, so perhaps the carers or people, you know, that might be part of a mind organisation, to talk to them about energy efficiency, the priority service register, how to how to use their prepayment meters, all of that sort of stuff. So if anyone's got sort of tea groups or other community groups that would have regular events that'd be interested in having a speaker come along, I'd be more than interested in talking to you to see how we can help. Any questions? Sorry, that was a bit of a whistle stop.
Yeah, that's fine. If you wanted to pop your details in the chat, Jenny, then people obviously, if they want to pick those details up, they'll be able to. That'll be great. Do you know off the top of your head, I mean, are there any areas in particular that are coming for support from your services at the moment in B&NES, or is that something you don't have a breakdown of?
I don't immediately have a breakdown. I mean, certainly it's a case of whoever gets referred in. So, we might get referrals in from Local Citizens Advice or Centre for Sustainable Energy, where they've done as much as they can and are looking to us to do some additional work. We might get, we have a contract with Wales and West Utilities, so we'll get referrals in from them. So some of those will be from the B&NES area. So, I couldn't give you definite numbers because I literally could have a client in Cornwall or Northumberland, sort of any given day, but maybe 5%. It's sort of a relatively sort of average spread across the country.
Right. Okay. That's great. Lovely. Okay, that's great. Thank you, Jenny. That's really helpful. Next person I've got on my list is Angela Ems. Hello, Angela.
Hi, Mark. Hi, everybody. I'm the philanthropy manager for Quartet Community Foundation, covering B&NES, but also North Somerset, and Quartet also obviously cover Bristol and South Gloucestershire as well. And so we're a grant-making organisation that also works to support charitable groups in the area. In terms of our grant programs that supporting B&NES, we've got the Bath Half Marathon Fund is currently open. So that's from donations from runners who entered the Bath Half this year, and a pre-existing fund from the Running High Limited Running High Events who run or up until recently have been running the Bath Half Marathon, as in organising it, though as I'm sure you're all aware, they've just changed to London Marathon events, and we'll be talking to them about how we keep this programme going forwards. But it's currently open for grants of up to £2,000 for purposes of sport, active lifestyles and play. Carer Centre, for example, had a grant last year for yoga and Tai Chi sessions. And I know Jackie's aware that the programme's open, so can apply again. It might catch a few people out because last year we opened it in the autumn to time with the marathon then, and obviously that's moved back to spring now, so we've brought it back to its traditional time of spring, which enables some groups to apply for sort of summer holiday activities and things. But yeah, it must be charities must be based and operating within B&NES and for sport, active lifestyles and play, and I'll put the link in the chat. And that's the main thing for me at the moment, apart from the fact that Quartet is celebrating 21 years of having an office in Bath this year.
Excellent. Something to be celebrated there. I'm sure if you added up all the support you've given everybody over those 21 years, there would be quite a big number that would come out. Lovely. Thank you. Lynn Tommen. Hello, Lynn. Is Lynn still with us? No, I think Lynn must have stepped out. Okay. Moving on, I've got Kate Bevan. Hello, Kate. Oh, I think I've caught Kate with a mouthful of lunch, probably. You okay, Kate?
Hi, can you hear me?
We can, yes, indeed. Hello there.
Great. No, I chose the wrong day to have noodles for lunch, didn't I? Trying to eat them subtly on a call. Sorry about that. I'm Kate. I'm one of the two coordinators of the Twerton and Whiteway Community Network. So we do what it says on the tin, try and link up organisations and services and the people of Twerton and Whiteway so they all know about each other, so they can get the most out of what is here. And also it's about advocating for the area and the wider city of Bath and supporting residents with what they already do, and about reframing that work as what do I mean? As in all the stuff that people do on a daily, they work really hard, but that work is not really recognised in society as labour. I'm sure, Anne, you can agree with me that carers are acknowledged, really hard workers that keep the wheels on the bus going round and round. So with that, one of our next plans that we'd like to do is start up a micro grants system like the Northwest Alliance do, where there's a pot of money that residents can approach the network and say, well, it's also administered by a panel of residents to make it transparent and fair. So, you know, grants of like £500 or something for small to get some things off the ground or to help maintain all of those unacknowledged labours of care that people do in the community, support them with that, like the community meals, litter picking, maintenance of stuff, kids activities. That's one of the things we might be doing, and might come and approach Quartet for that, Angela, at some point. What else have we got going on? We're going to plan a family fun day. Well, thanks, Mark. Yeah, I need to take a look at that. A family fun day on Rosewarne Park in August, which I'll make sure that everybody knows about, to kind of restart that annual summer fair on the green in the middle of Whiteway. That's one of our big projects at the moment. Another thing, Anne, actually, is that I was wanting to contact the Carers Centre. Obviously, you're just down there on Lower Bristol Road. It would be really nice to have a chat anyway about how we can kind of connect up more, get the Carers Centre more connected. So if you put your email in the chat or something, we can do that. But I was just speaking to a person from the Beyond Equality charity, the Men's Wellbeing Workshop people, who are wanting to do a workshop in this area. And there's already been some interest apparently from the Carers Centre. I don't know via who, but some linking up on that will be good. I'm not sure who anybody else is yet on this chat as to whether that's relevant to them yet. But oh yeah, all things Twerton and Whiteway. I'll put my email in the chat and just get in touch. Thanks. I'll keep eating my noodles.
Thanks, Kate. There was one thing I was going to mention, Kate, which would be really helpful in July this year, is we've got a consultation that will be running in Twerton in Whiteway. It's a quite a simple consultation, but it can sometimes, these sorts of things can sometimes get people's views kind of battered around a bit, and it's just a simple name change that's been requested for the voting ward. At the moment it's called Twerton, and the proposal is that they want to change the name to Twerton and Whiteway. So we will be coming round to lots of local venues with some posters to get the community's views on it, but it'll be good to kind of catch up with you before we get started.
Yeah, definitely.
So we can get some information out. That'll be really useful.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do that. I think Curo are restarting their resident consultation stuff as well in July. They're going to do a session in Rose Cottage, which is great.
Oh, great. I'll try and get along to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yes, I'll let you know. I don't think there's a date set, but it will be July, and it's by the new Curo community team that there is now. They've employed another 2 people, which is brilliant.
Excellent.
Yeah. Okay.
Fantastic. That's great, Kate. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers.
Lovely. Okay, I've got Duncan Maisie. Hello, Duncan.
Hello, Mark, and hello, everybody. You must have a great list. I didn't expect to speak.
I keep track as
I
I
thought
go
I'd
along,
come and
Duncan.
listen.
Okay,
Right.
did you?
It's great to hear everything that's being done, the cooperation and everyone talking to each other. That's what I wanted to find out. I've recently inserted myself into a police forum, which is called the Bleed Kit Partnership, and
yes.
This is sort of perhaps at the more grisly end of society. It's a partnership between. It's coordinated by the Avon and Somerset Police, but it's community led in the sense that we don't want the police taking it over. So my role is to sort of work with and alongside the police, but not let them take it over. So the police are obviously dealing with youth violence and knife crime, and we're all desperately aware of the horrible consequences of knife crime. And I know Bath and North East Somerset suffers its fair share of violence in that respect. So the communities have come together to look at the consequences of knife crime, which is, from a community point of view, it is catastrophic bleeding. So if someone is a subject of violence or stabbing, bleeding is the obvious consequence. And you only have a few seconds as a bystander to involve yourself in the first aid and the preservation of life by stemming that bleeding. You can then go on to cardiac arrest and defibrillators and things, but it's the immediate few seconds and minutes when someone has experienced catastrophic bleeding. So my point of view, I'm ex-mountain rescue, just retired as search and rescue. So I've been finding catastrophic casualties in various places for the last 40 years. But anyone can bleed catastrophically from any cause. So be that a chainsaw or a pair of scissors in the kitchen, it's not restricted to violent crime. So we're trying to get the message that catastrophic bleeding is a new part of first aid that can be shared between first aid groups, public, anybody who is able to listen to a short presentation on what to do in catastrophic bleeding. We're also putting up a series of little red boxes, you might have seen them, that contain first aid kit, a simple tourniquet, bandages, and material. The police are supporting that, but of course their general emphasis is on high crime spots because they'd like to have bleed kits close to where crime is likely to happen. Living in the Dew Valley and living out in the countryside, people can hurt themselves with a chainsaw just as easily. And we had a recent example on Bank Holiday of someone in, where was it, Compton Martin, who had an accident in their garden. And the local pub, funnily enough, we'd put a bleed kit in the local pub on the defibrillator about 3 weeks before. And the bleed kit was used during this terrible accident, and the air ambulance came and all the good things happened. So we have evidence that these things actually work, but it's an awareness really amongst as many people as possible that we are pushing this idea of dealing with catastrophic bleeding, not only caused by violent crime, but also across the countryside. And you know, getting kicked by a horse or falling off a horse can be equally traumatic as violent crime. So that's what I'm currently pushing, and like I say, I'm working with the police very closely, but trying not to make it solely a police activity. So I don't know if that's helpful to anybody or news to anybody. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Duncan. That's really helpful. It's actually quite timely as well, because personally, I had a conversation with the police about the very same thing earlier this week, and we are looking to try and get a much broader spread of these bleed kits in appropriate places, and we're looking to try to get some of the councillors to look in their ward areas to fund the initial kits, so that the spread is much wider. And I agree with you, it's not just about the high traffic spots, it's about having them in places, because as you say, you know, household accidents, traffic accidents, all sorts of things can happen where there is a catastrophic bleed. So getting these kits out there, I think Bath at the moment is very thin on the ground, whereas Bristol has really kind of got on board with this program. So I would say watch this space. We are working with the police ourselves as well to try and to get the numbers up.
Thanks, Mark. To add weight to it, there's a brand new, freshly minted Assistant Chief Constable whose role is to look at communities and community policing. So he's devoting an awful lot of his time to this project, because obviously the police could be seen to be doing a lot of good things, and it really is a community effort as well as a police effort. So don't believe them when they say it's the police effort. We all need to get behind it from a community as well. So thanks for that, Mark.
Thank you, Duncan. Lovely, thank you very much. I've got Becky Penny next. Hello, Becky.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you for inviting me along. So we're always here anyway. I'm representing Live Well BA&NES today, just to remind you all about what the site offers and how you can get involved. So Live Well BA&NES provides information, support and signposting to various groups of our community members. So we support adults living independently in all of our communities across Bath and North East Somerset. And that includes information about health and wellbeing and practical support and signposting to charities, services, organisations that are around the area. And that includes those that are commissioned and those non-commissioned services as well. So we cover a very broad range, and we signpost to services that can support like home adaptations and financial support and financial wellbeing, and like I say, a whole range of information. We also have a section on our website supporting children and families. So we provide a list of Ofsted registered childcare across our area, so childminders, nurseries, preschools and out of school provisions as well, all listed on the site. And there's also information to support families when they're looking for childcare, information about all the funding that's available. Similarly, there's information for anyone who's interested in getting into the field and providing some early childcare provision themselves. So we've got information and signposting for that as well. Alongside that, we have family support organisations, services, courses, information anything that people might need to know about to support their families while their children move up into adulthood. And thirdly, the Live Well BA&NES is the home of Bath and North East Somerset's local offer for young children and adults with additional needs, so any special educational needs and disabilities. That's where you'll find the information on there, and we've got everything you will need from birth up to age 25, dedicated preparing for adulthood sections. We've got information about education, health and care plans and the journeys that families have to go through that process, information about diagnoses and support services that are available across the area depending on the young person's need, information about holiday play schemes and short break opportunities for families and young people, a whole range of information is on the site, and we do encourage services to have a look through. It's a really great great tool for organisations to use themselves to find out what's available out there, how you can really identify different ways you can support the people that you're working with, really. If they come with you with various different needs, it's a great place to start to find out what else is around that can help them. Any organisation or service can self-register, and then the information is linked directly to your account, so you can manage it. You manage the information that you put on there. You can update it any time. You've got your own individual login details, and we will ensure that it's popped through to all of the relevant directories. So we're covering lots of different bases. Often services pop up in 3 or 4 different directory listings because they're relevant. So we make sure that all happens. There's a contact us function on the site as well. So if you need to get in touch with us and ask any questions, you can, and we can help with any signposting that way. We do have our Facebook page and an Instagram account, which is more dedicated for information for sort of older young people, opportunities as they sort of move from children's age up into adulthood, really. And our Facebook page is more sort of active community events. So, like the Twerton and Whiteway Community Network, if you have anything you want us to promote, any events, activities, groups, let us know about them. We're more than happy to share them and raise awareness and make people know what's going on. I will put all of our details in the chat in a moment, and our email address as well. Feel free to get in touch anytime, and we're happy to come along to any groups and let people know what we're doing. We have postcards as well we can send to you if you think they'd be helpful to have, so you can hand out to your community members. Again, just let us know and we can pop some in the post.
Thanks, Becky. I'd certainly say it's a very useful resource to have out there, and always very up to date because of the way that people self-manage their information with you. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thanks, Mark.
Lovely. Okay, I've got Gozia O'Malley. Hi, Gozia.
Hi, everyone. Hi, so lovely to see you all. It's been really interesting today. I've taken loads of notes.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I am Gosia O'Malley, and I work as a community learning coordinator at Bath College. So we run mostly free courses for adults who live in the area, mainly in B&NES, but also some wider worker areas, who are at least 19 years old and who have lived in the UK for at least 3 years. We have some exceptions for refugees and stuff like that. And we have a massive range of courses that might be of interest to the local communities who may not be able to access paid courses or leisure courses, well-being, and so on. So, for example, we have several. Well, we have got 2 pages in front of me. Oh, you can't see because of the filter. So we have cookery courses coming up, some qualification courses, for example, level 2 food safety and hygiene, that's starting in a week's time. Creative courses, for example, lino cut printmaking, collage art. We have some CV and interview skills support courses, developing computer skills, some more specific, for example, if somebody wants to develop the Microsoft Word skills or Microsoft PowerPoint or Excel, we have those as well. We have one really exciting course coming up for people who are over 45 years old, sort of to help them build confidence and resilience in the sort of modern job market, to help them maybe find confidence and skills to apply for jobs, which are, mostly set up as online applications and can be a challenge for some people. It also helps them to figure out their next career steps, to utilize the pre-existing skills, abilities. So obviously nobody at 45 comes in as a blank canvas. They will already have a lot of skills and abilities, and we just need to sort of dig them out and find them and give them confidence, and maybe continue developing them on courses and things like that. We even have a singing for wellbeing course coming up. That's on the 5th of June. We have creative wellbeing, creative writing for wellbeing. It's going to be run at Summer Valley campus. Computers for Work, so it's course designed specifically for people who want to work in an office or who have some basic skills but want to develop them specifically to work in an office. And we have another qualification, level 2 award in Nutrition for Health. That's in July. And finally, we have a couple of really exciting courses called SWAPs. Some of you might have heard about them. So these are sector-based work academy programs where we provide some teaching, some qualifications. So, for example, we run one of those in construction. The participants will have access to CSCS training, and they will end up having that qualification if they pass the assessment. And also, we link them up with employers who are actively recruiting for staff, and they will have a guaranteed job interview with those employers for an actual job. So we also have another one coming up in hospitality. I think my colleague who actually takes care of SWAPs sent me some information about the actual employers that we have working with us on these. So for the construction SWAP, we have an employer called Red Robin Solutions. Hospitality, we have PGL, we have the Hilton Hotel. Yeah, that's mainly what we have coming up at the moment. But every time we run these courses, we have new and fresh employers, and sometimes the pre-existing ones, as long as they are recruiting for actual jobs. We have more ideas on what to do next year. So next year, we're looking into adding beauty therapy courses, short courses, also introduction to gym work, as in fitness activities, and I'm sure we've had many more different types of courses that I've forgotten about. I've only covered what we have coming up before the summer holidays. But if you have any questions at all, I will put my details into the chat, and happy to answer any of your questions as well.
Thank you, Gus. Yeah, that's very comprehensive. Plenty going on there. Excellent. Okay. I just want to check Ruth. I know Ruth Malloy. I know you said you've come along to listen today. Did you have anything you wanted to say about your role as a councillor or what you're doing in Weston at the moment at all, or are you just here to listen? No pressure.
No, I do various volunteering things in Weston, but it's always good to hear about what's happening in the wider area. Also, I mean, I noticed sometimes you were saying that yeah, self-referrals are possible, sometimes they're not, and then professional referrals. And I was just wondering, in that case, if it for example, there's a charity that I don't know if anyone has been to speak on here before, called Good Gym, and they link up volunteers who like running, I think in particular, to then go and help out older people over 50, so not that old really, but doing a bit of gardening work or clearing up or whatever. And in that case, yeah, again, self-referrals aren't possible, but counsellors are allowed to refer. So I was just wondering, in some cases, is being a counsellor, considered okay to make a referral? But no, basically, I'm just here to listen and learn and be impressed by everything that's going on.
Thank you, Ruth. Great to have you along today. Thank you. Okay, finally, but not the least, I've got Dave Dixon. I think Dave wanted to just give us a little bit of an update on what's happening at the Community Wellbeing Hub at the moment. Hello, Dave.
Yeah, my name's Dave Dixon. I'm the Community Engagement Manager for the Council. But myself, I'm up at the Peas down St John today with Mark and the rest of the team. We're all here at the Community Wellbeing Hub, which has been up and running for 4 years now. Started with 6 partners at the height of COVID in March 2020. We're up to 28 partners now, and most of those are in the third sector, and most of those are commissioned services that are either commissioned by the council or by the Integrated Care Board or Public Health England, or a combination of 1, 2 or 3 of them. So there's some big organisations that we're involved with. Obviously, we're partnered with the RUH, we're partnered with the Integrated Care Board, we're partnered with the University West of England and Bristol. And then some of the third sector are not, some of the commission partners, not necessarily all third sector, that are big partners of the partnership. So for instance, Curo, we do a lot of work with Curo. We do a lot with Bath Mind, with Age UK, with the Carer Centre, Dorothy House, Swallow, Swan Transport, Wern, Clean Slate. There's a whole bunch of things. And at the moment, in the height of COVID in March and April, June to June 2020, we were getting about 600 referrals into the Community Wellbeing Hub every month. We are now currently getting something like 800 referrals. Some of those are multi-referrals from individual people, but actual real people. We're probably getting between 350-ish to 400 people that get referred into the Community Wellbeing Hub every month currently, and some of their complex and integrated needs get sent out to the partners through Rivium, which is our which is the hub's software system. So basically it comes in, and we have something like, we're talking earlier on about professional referrals. We've got about 400 professionals within the third sector organisations and some of those other organisations that actually referring people into the hub and into the software. We've got a very visible, high profile presence in the atrium at the entrance of the Royal United Hospital. That's where a lot of the referrals come from. And there'll be patients, or there'll be families of patients, there'll be staff, there'll be people just literally visiting other people in the hospital. So hundreds of those are coming through, and basically what we do is we triage those people coming in and dedicate and direct them towards the most promptly available services for their needs. So if it's debt consolidation, they'll go to the CAB. If it's maybe drugs or alcohol related stuff, they'll go to DHI. If it's Curo related or independent living service, it will go to Curo. Transport, it'll go to Swan. And sometimes, as I'm sure you're all aware, some of the people that you're dealing with have a variety of different needs, and sometimes the really complex ones go to our multidisciplinary team meetings, which we have every Wednesday afternoon. And we usually get about 5 or 6 individuals every week. And basically it allows the 20 or so partners to discuss an individual and try and work out how best to try and support them, and which key unlocks the first door to trying to get into dealing with some of their issues. So at the moment we're funded until the end of March 2025. The business case is almost finished and is going to be put forward to the council as a growth item to fund us from 2025 onwards. We've done the whole of the business case and the business realization, benefit realization stuff. And the calculations are that for every £1 that's invested in the hub, it generates £4 of either savings or benefit realization, both for society and for the individuals within the society, but also for the organisations that are actually putting the money in. And it's roughly on a 2/3, 1/3 split. So the council puts in 2/3 of the money through itself or through public health, and the ICB puts in about 1/3, and the benefit realization is roughly actually very similar. So for every 2/3 put in by the council, it gets 2/3 of the benefit back. And so the whole idea is about driving that preventative agenda going forward in Bath and North East Somerset, on the basis that we know that the statistics and the demographics of the area, when you look at them, are quite frightening. So Simon Allen, who's the Chief Exec of Age UK, came along to a partnership board meeting a few weeks ago, and in a population of 190,000 people in Bath and North East Somerset, there are 30,000 students, mostly based in Bath, but there are also 30,000 people that are over the age of 65 within Bath and North East Somerset. So that's 15%, and that demographic and that trend is literally just going skyward. So we know, and a lot of them are moving into the area because it's a very nice place to come and retire to. But obviously they bring on occasions complex issues and demands and health issues and so forth, and put pressure on our services. So it's all this idea about trying to combat that that demand on pressure going forward by a preventative agenda, and also by encouraging people to be more practical on their own behalf about some of the things that they can do to support themselves. So it's kind of having that quite difficult conversations with people about, yes, there's a whole group of organisations and there are some brilliant people doing brilliant work, and some of them I'm looking at you on the screen now. But at the end of the day, we're going to get to a stage where the demand profile, we've got to need to look at another way of dealing with some of those that surplus issue. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. It's an ongoing movable feast. If anybody's interested in knowing anything more about it, then by all means give us a shout and we'll arrange for you to come up and we can talk you through. And we've got so many presentations and videos that have been made over the last 4 years about what we've been doing. So if anybody is interested, just let me know and I can organise that. Brilliant. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for me 2 minutes.
You're welcome. Thanks, Dave. That's always very comprehensive. I think that's everybody, unless anybody's got anything else they wanted to come back in on at all. Just wanted to thank everyone for their time today. It's always great to get such a variety of different topics that we listen to across just over an hour that we've been sort of talking together. Our next meeting is on the 23rd of July. I've popped that in the chat and the link to our webpage. And, you know, these meetings are for organisations out there who want to share out, whether it be like you've been doing today, talking to each other, or just coming along to listen to hear about what's going on. So please share the information, and anyone is welcome to come and find out more about all the great work that's going on. But other than that, I would say thanks. Have a great afternoon. Have a little bit of time back because we always schedule these for 2 hours, but just in case we are much busier. And I would say we'll hopefully see some faces again in July. Other than that, I will end the recording now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.